Am I live? Well, I don't know, I guess. Am I live? Alright. So before I get started, I'm going to test to see if I'm streaming live. Let's see, am I in the right place here? Yes, my channel. Alright. Okay, yeah. I guess I am live. Waving. Open it up there. All right, I've had a very busy day today. As you see, I'm dressed in a t-shirt and whatnot. So the reality is that, so I'm doing my broadcast from right here. Welcome, sitting in the rain, waiting on somebody at a doctor's office. This is Dr. Graham. This is the Abnormal Church. And if you've been paying attention to the live streams for Abnormal Church, you would know what this is all about. If this is your first time here, well, let's talk about what we do. Why are we abnormal? We're abnormal because we're not, we're as you see on my t-shirt here, the kingdom of God is within you. I know you can't see it all here, but believe me, it's there. The kingdom of God is within you. So what we're focused on is teaching people to look within themselves for what they need. See, it's there. You were given to it. It was given to you at birth. Everything you need, except for mentoring and basic direction that we all need as we start out our lives and throughout our lives. Don't be afraid to seek help from people and learn from other people's experiences in life. But if you go to our website, abnormalchurch.com, and it's reprogramming your mind, there's a place to click up there, the top bar. You drop down menu and you click, there's videos. You can see a video that you don't need to log in for. And that video talks about, it's a good lead-in for what we're doing here. So, you can follow that through, and of course go back on this channel and you can review the things that I've already said on the website. Also putting links to get for a small donation PDF files or ebooks of all the books we've written on this subject. I say I've written, and made that available. If you prefer a hard copy book, it's a little bit more expensive because of paper and ink and so forth, but do have that available, and you can order that online as well. So working on all this stuff to get it together, and remember, you were born to succeed. Absolutely, you were born to succeed. Detoxing the mind, we've talked about that a little bit. What you've been programmed initially at the beginning of your life, and I'm sorry, you were programmed wrong. You were led wrong. You were programmed wrong. It's time to reprogram for success. And that's what this is all about. Reprogramming for success. Your culture, your family, everything about the environment that you were raised in, that you were born into, to the schools you went to, the people you associated with, all this ingrained you in your formative years to believe certain things about your situation, to believe certain things about your life. What we're doing is showing you you can get total control over your life. It's not too late. So this is a wake-up call. People don't have to understand what freedom is. They walk around with these shackles. The shackles are invisible, but they're so used to these shackles. These shackles have been so much a part of their existence from birth that they don't even recognize these shackles. I mentioned it before in an earlier presentation. I do a lot of weddings, and doing those weddings, it's amazing that you find most people stick to this tradition. Most people stick 100% to this tradition. The tradition being that the white wedding gown, the guys in a tux, groomsmen, bridesmaids, all those sorts of things. that is exactly what I'm talking about here. Not having a clue. Not having a clue of where these things came from, why these traditions exist. They just go with it. Oh, that's the way it's done. Scared to be different. Really, really scared to be different. Really afraid to do anything unique. Individuality is traditional. You've got to do it a certain way. It hit me much later in life, but I was indoctrinated the same way we all are from birth. And it's like, wait a minute, why is it considered a sin to live with somebody without having this piece of paper we call a marriage license, or to get married by the state? That's a fairly new document. That's a fairly new thing. I mean, none of the founding fathers had it. Were they all sinners? Was everybody up to the point of the mid 1800s, and are they going to burn in hell because they had sex without having this piece of paper? They lived with somebody without having this piece of paper? Really? This is what they've got. This is what we were taught. And it's really sad. It is really sad that we don't stop and think about these things. Why are we so closed-minded? That's why in that video that's I've got posted on the website there, it goes into, that's why poor people stay poor. Poor people, traditionally, for the most part, they always stay poor. They live in the same poor neighborhood, the same poor house, the same poor everything that their parents did and their grandparents did, and it rarely, I'm not saying it never happens, but rarely does it change. They stay in this mode of poor. Rich people seemingly can do anything they want and stay perpetually rich. Don't seem to have all these problems that all these other people have. It's amazing. Why is that so? Why is that so? So the book that I want you to look into, two of them especially right now, Reprogramming Your Mind for Success, and that's on the website. I'm adding, haven't done it yet, but I'm going to have, hopefully in the next 24 hours, the links to download the ebook version. But Reprogramming Your Mind for Success, and then the next one is I'm brain dead today. Mentalism. And these two are going to help lead you through a process. I'm going to put these in a very structured order. Also, there's some video. We've got to have some donations. And very nominal donations, and appreciate those that can afford more. But this is the things that we do for fundraising for our church is, number one, we do a lot of weddings, and people usually put some money in our pocket for the weddings, and then these books, this material, and it's a donation basis. So we give suggested what we'd like for the book. We've got to get more because we're mailing them usually, and they're printing them. We're self-published, and there's an expense involved. As far as the e-books, very nominal. You can have those very nominal costs if you just want to get the PDF file for these books. I also have some workbooks available that'll be online too, so be patient with me. I'm getting all that together. This is not all that I'm doing. Married a couple yesterday. Got a lot of weddings coming up, but I'm hoping after today that I can get a situation to be able to aid in doing, to help you guys out. I'm sorry, I got distracted for a moment. It's raining very heavily out here on a Wednesday. They call this hump day. I don't like to call it a hump day because it's another day. And you have this length of time between birth and death. And this is one of the things that I talk about quite a bit. The only thing that you own, the only thing that you'll ever own, that once you spend it, it's eternally gone. You cannot get it back, and that's your time. And I thank you first and foremost, for the time that you have spent with me here, listening to me and joining me in these presentations. Hopefully we'll get these more polished, we'll get them better as we go along, and I hope you get something out of it. That is the key, so that you can have an abundant life. You know, Jesus talked about have life and have it abundantly. And you know, it's like, well, I'm sorry, and I'm not berating prayer, but you know, that seldom has resolved and changed people's lives in a dramatic way and lifted you up. That comes from this kingdom of God within you, and that's what we're tapping into. And Jesus said also that he did all these great works. Remember that. And out of these great works, he said that he would be leaving and that you would do greater works than he. And that scripture's on our website as well. So we got all these wonderful things happening, and we're going to work together to get you where you want to be and where you were born to be. You don't have to stay where you are now. Keep that in mind. You can move up to where you want to be. Success does not have to be measured in dollars and cents, of course not. In our society, that is an important factor, what we deal with. But success can be measured in a lot of different ways. Whatever your definition of success, whatever you're seeking to achieve, you have it within you, because the kingdom of God is within you to be able to reach for these things. So we're doing, and I'm going to work with you to go through a detoxification to cleanse your mind so that it can be reprogrammed for success. All the things that you were wrongly programmed with since birth is changing, and it's changing right now. If you go back, listen to the other videos. This is kind of short and sweet. Sitting in the vehicle, wasn't able to get to the church earlier today to do the presentation that I normally do, but I hope that you have a wonderful day. Tomorrow's Thursday, and don't view this as hump day. This is just another wonderful day in your life, and once it's gone, soon, today will be history. So you're living history right now. You are making history right now. Let's make some history that counts in your life. In your life. Let's do something that counts for you. You can. You should. You were born to succeed, and that is where you and I, that's where we're going to go. I've had a lifetime experience in business and religion. We're pulling all this together, and you and I together, we're going places. Keep that in mind. Have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. The rain's coming down. I could take a nap right now, right? You know, that's what rain's good for. So anyway, have a wonderful, good afternoon. I'll either be back with you live here or putting up another edited video either later this evening or tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me.